Hey everybody, we're just about to start.
So we've got you all on mute at the moment.
So we've got you all on mute, but we're going to be taking lots and lots of questions. If you have some questions for me, by all means start to type them in beforehand, and I'm here to answer all your questions. So let me tell you, because your biggest question is, what is this online training? Well, for years and years, people have said to me, please teach your method, please teach your method. I've never been able to do that because A, I've never had any time, and B, I've actually been a bit, oh, this is mine. You know, I spent 30 years making this amazing. I'm not going to let anyone else have it. And then I realized, of course, that that's really rather selfish. And also I want more people to do what I do. So I did my first ever Marisa Peer live therapy in the room, classroom course last November. And I think I had 50 people on it, and some of them have done amazing. One's got her own TV show, one's got her own radio show, some have been in the papers. And then I did my second online training in April, and I had 60 people from all over the world, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. And I did my third one in June, and I'm just right in the middle of my fourth one. And I absolutely love it. The online training is amazing because it's obviously not quite the same as in the classroom, but it's very similar. So my in the classroom training is taking people over 9 days and showing them how to be a phenomenal therapist, how to do rapid transformational therapy. This week I cured someone in the room of a poor memory, which all to do with not being loved. I worked with someone on obesity. In my April course, I had someone with scoliosis. I had someone who cured their own astigmatism. So the exciting thing about the in the class training is the case history. Every single thing is recorded. So I'm going to tell you first the difference between the online training and the in the classroom training. And then I should mention, can you all hear, by the way? Can everybody wave if you can hear? Fabulous. Yay. Should you at any stage say, Marisa, I love the online course, but it just makes you want to do the in-classroom course, that's okay, because at any time, even if it's a year later, we will take the cost of this online training off the classroom training, should you want that. So let me tell you the difference. Well, of course, the classroom training has me, and people come up on stage, and I do therapy with them, and of course you get to experience what it's like to do the hypnosis, and you're supervised. We have graduates walking around supervising you all the time. The online course, all the footage comes from the face-to-face course. So in the online course, we have modules. So the first module is how to set a client up for success in 5 minutes. When people come to see me, they know within 5 minutes that I'm going to cure them. I know, they have great faith. And it's very important to set your clients up for success with certain things you say, certain words you use. And then the next module is showing you how to hypnotize somebody. Now, people think hypnosis is really complicated. You have to have a gift for it. You're born with it, like being an outstanding musician. You've either got it or you haven't. That's not true. Hypnosis is actually a science. There is a way of doing it really, really well. So I show you on module 2 how to hypnotize someone. And within that is how to give them tests, how to deepen them, how to show them that they're incredibly suggestible. Because the thing with a client is what they want to know is, am I suggestible? Is every suggestion you give me making the next one work? So then I can accept suggestions about losing 100 pounds or stopping smoking. And the second thing after that is, after you've learned how to do the hypnosis, the next module is how to regress. That's really important. It's what I call being a detective. In one session, you don't just cure people, you show them, look, this is how you got to be, this is why you can't get pregnant, this is why you're 100 pounds overweight, this is why you bite your nails. I'm a great believer that you can't heal what you don't understand. And a lot of conventional therapy is just doing a cure. Come in, I'll give you some suggestions, I'll stop you drinking, I'll go to AA and I'll stop you drinking. But you see, every habit of action is run by a habit of thought. And most therapies go, let's cure the action. But I go, no, let's find out the thought that runs the action. You see, if you walk around an abattoir, you'll find you can often never eat meat again, because in that instance, you changed your thinking, which changed your behavior. So the regression is all about why, how, where, when did you ever get this habit? And then let's get rid of it. And then, of course, the cure. And the cure really is the most important part of the session. So one of the reasons that this is a pioneer group and that we're giving this course away for $1,000 instead of $3,500 is because we want feedback. It's a brand new program. In the same way that when I did my online classroom training, the first class was half the price of the second class. The first class, we were learning it, we were putting it together, and therefore the first class was 50% less than the second class. This is a pioneer group, and so therefore you are getting this online group for $1,000 instead of $3,500 on a strict understanding that you give us feedback. We really depend on that feedback because we want this course to be amazing. We want it to be wonderful. We want to do the best thing ever. And if you want to do that, you just have to go to this link and you can sign up now. We're only selling 100 places. I think we've already sold 35. And if you want a place, then you can sign up. Now, there's a complete 7-day money-back guarantee. If you buy and go, it's not for me, I don't like it, then you can get a full refund. We're very happy to give you your money back because we know that we're going to sell a lot more than 100 places. But the deal is that you must give me feedback. I'm giving it to you for less in return for your feedback. But let me tell you more about what's on the course. So the first 3 modules are how to set clients up for success, how to get someone into hypnosis, how they know they're being regressed, and the cure. The cure is so important. Someone said, what is the length of the course? It's about 60 to 70 hours, but there's a lot of bonus material. So after you've had those first 3 modules, we then go into the specialist areas, how to work with weight loss. If you are a therapist, you really want to know how to become an expert at weight loss, because every time someone walks down the street and someone goes, oh my God, what have you done? They go, I lost 60 pounds. I saw this therapist. They go, you know what? I have a fear of dentists, but I want to go to your therapist because it works. So when I became a therapist, I only worked with weight loss. People would ring me up and go, I know you only do weight, but I've got a fear of snakes and you just did such a great job with my friend. I want to see you. So even if you don't want to work with weight loss, you should, because those clients are a walking, talking, living example of how good you are. So we have a whole module, not just on weight loss, but how to do weight loss groups, how to go into schools, how to have a weight loss group in your local community, how to work with groups, and how to do group hypnosis, mass hypnosis, how to give talks at colleges. We have a second module on infertility. And again, you might think that doesn't interest me at all. I can only tell you there is nothing better in the world than someone coming in and said, I've had IVF 6 times. It's cost me $80,000. I've mortgaged my house, and my husband won't trying for 10 years to have a baby. And they write to you 3 months later and say, wow, I'm pregnant. And if ever you've seen my book, Trying to Get Pregnant and Succeeding, and only read the reviews, it says on Amazon, I've been trying for 5 years. I got this book. I was pregnant 3 months later. I've had 7 cycles of IVF. I read this book. I got pregnant naturally 6 weeks later. So we show you how to make a whole package of infertility, how to work on conception and IVF conception and a perfect pregnancy and a perfect birth. You know what's so great about infertility? People are going to spend $5,000, $10,000 on IVF. They will certainly spend $250 on a session with you. That's a great deal for them, and they don't have to have any drugs at all. And then we show you how to take hypnosis into the corporate world. So here's another module, how to work with executives for stress, insomnia, public speaking, interview success. The corporate world is a great world to go in. I hypnotize traders to trade with more confidence, know when to enter and to exit the market. I hypnotize lawyers who are to speak in court and to be much, much more convincing. I hypnotize all kinds of city people or corporate people who might be stressed or anxious. I have to fly all the time and just be able to sleep naturally in a different country every 4 days. So we do weight, infertility, corporate, and then we do one of my favorite things, which is addictions. And I show you how to cure every addiction: drinking, smoking, shopping, gambling, shoplifting, texting. There's so many addictions, even sex. So we do a fantastic module on any addiction you can think of, and some you won't even have thought of. And it's very easy to cure addicts. The great thing about addicts is they are massively suggestible. Here's what they say: I can't cope without a drink. I can't write that report without a cigarette. I can't relax and feel happy unless I eat loads of candy. They already have a belief system that is massively suggestible. And I get people who are addicted to food or drugs to get addicted to yoga, because all they do is swap their addictions. They get addicted to meditating. They get addicted to playing the recording I give them that says you love not drinking way more than you ever thought you liked drinking. And addicts are really easy to work with. And then we work on phobias, any phobia you can think of: bees, heights, snakes, nail biting, hair pulling. We also give you something amazing in this program, which is called a full diary formula. We show you how to have a full diary. You see, it doesn't matter if you are the most brilliant, amazing, incredible therapist in the whole world. If no one knows where you are, what's the point of that? So there is a huge marketing angle to this technique. When I became a therapist, I never, ever advertised for clients. I was so busy, I had to start giving clients away. And I was so busy at one time, I was working 7 days a week. And I understood how to use the media, how to get press. So we show you how to write blogs, how to get yourself into paper. In fact, from my Live in the Classroom course, we've had so many of our graduates in the paper. One lady in Liverpool has been in the paper 5 times. Another lady was in her local paper and 2 international magazines. I think one of them was Elle, so we want to write about you as well. So we show you how to get clients, and we give you a 9-hour product called Full Diary Form, and that's what it does. It shows you how to have a full diary. And we're going to give all of this to you and everything else for $1,000 on the strict understanding that you feed back the course. And you might go, look, I love the first 5 modules, but the 6th one, I didn't really understand it, or I really wished you'd had more of that, or actually there was too much of that, I'd like more of that. And even when you finish the online training, the 60 to 70 hours, you then have monthly masterclasses every month for a year. And the masterclasses are great because you come and go, hey, Marisa, you know, I've got the course and I'm doing really well and I've got this one client, but I've got a client that won't regress. So I've got a client that won't play the recordings. Of course, another of our modules is what to do with clients who appear to be resistant. I have a particular thing called upgrading the child. I don't know if any of you went on my Uncompromised Life course, where I was hypnotizing, I don't know, thousands of people over the internet. And I show you how to do that too. I have something called Skypnosis, and we show you how to see clients all over the world on Skype, which is a wonderful thing because you might go, well, I live in a tiny village and I don't know how I'm going to get those clients, but it doesn't matter. Once you can do Skype, you can see anyone, anywhere. And then we have a Facebook group. You have your very own Facebook group for feedback, but also for incredible support. I don't know if you've seen my Marisa Peer method, but a lot of my graduates go, you know what, I love this training, but the support, that is second to none, not just me. The graduates support each other. They're always posting up, yesterday I saw this client and this happened. They go, oh, well, I had the same thing. So somebody recently put up a post saying, I saw a client and I wasn't quite sure it had worked. They kept opening their eyes and then they went away and I got no feedback. And after a week, I texted them and went, how are you? They went, oh my God, it's amazing. I'm sleeping every night. I'm so happy. I've never been so relaxed. And he went, oh, thank goodness for that, because I thought no feedback meant no results. And he said, all the others, so don't worry if your clients don't get in touch. It doesn't mean it's not working. So we offer you wonderful support. What other modules are we covering? Let me see. Oh, children. I don't know if any of you have seen that little thing I give away about hypnotizing small children with puppets. There's nothing better in the whole world than working with small children for bedwetting, for fear of school, for nail biting, for all kinds of little issues, so bedwetting, nail biting, pulling out their hair, being scared, thinking there's a monster under the bed. So with small children, I use puppets. Beyond the age of 7 or 8, I do straight out direct hypnosis to pass their exams, to be confident, to be good at sport. And then we go on to troubled teens, and there's so many of those. And it's heartbreaking how teenage children come in thinking they are not enough and how easy it is to change. It's interesting how so many drug addicts are drug addicts because they can't connect. And I've never met an alcoholic yet in my life who thought they're enough. And one of the things I love about my technique is I break it right down. You don't have to go and see a therapist every Friday for 5 years, because I understand that behind every problem are 4 core things. I don't think I'm enough. I feel different. I don't fit in. I have a powerful belief that love or wealth or success is not available to me. And some of you who want to be therapists have got exactly those beliefs. I'm not enough. I don't fit in. What I want isn't available, and I'm different. And I had all of those thoughts. I felt I didn't fit in. I always felt different. And so we also, on the online course, do something called programming for the hypnotherapist. We cure you of all your issues, because I don't want you to suddenly be in your office doing an amazing session with the client where it brings up all your issues. Oh, you know, I worked with this client who was adopted and felt they weren't good enough. And it made me think, gosh, I never felt good enough. So I want you to be cured before you start to work with clients. A lot of therapists get burnt out because they give so much and they're so busy fixing other people, they do not fix themselves. We fix you while you're doing the course. We have a programming for the hypnotherapist which makes you believe you're an amazing therapist. It's out and out hypnosis. I hypnotize you through the screen and tell you how good you are, and you play that a lot. But we also regress you back and start to cure your issues, your feelings of, well, is success really available? Can I really charge that money? I'm really not good enough, so who am I to help other people? I can tell you now that clients who come in do not want a perfect therapy. Somebody goes, well, I've got an amazing life. Look at my lovely home and my beautiful kids, and I'm a perfect size 4, and look at my beautiful manicure. That doesn't work for clients because they just feel intimidated. They love it when you go, you know what? I used to be an alcoholic, or you know what? I was a single mum for 15 years, or I worked in a bakery because I didn't think I could do anything else. I was going to be a nanny when I was leaving school because that's all I ever thought I was good for. So the course will cover everything. I'm just repeating these to see what else there is on it. So we've got weight, infertility, the corporate world. We have sexual problems. It's very important to know how to deal with a client with sexual without feeling uncomfortable or embarrassed. We have fears, phobias. We have children. We have troubled teens. And then we have the programming for you. And the live classes are amazing. Oh, sport. We show you how to hypnotize little league teams and being better at baseball, how to hypnotize football teams, how to hypnotize kids. I've got someone recently from Slovenia who's just going into the playoffs, and if he gets through, he said it will change my life, and I'm just hypnotizing him now. We have a whole health section on seeing people with things like migraines, eczema, dermatitis, you name it, we cure it. So let me have a look at some of the questions coming in already. But let me answer some of the questions. Someone said, how much is the course if I want to be a pioneer tester? Okay. For a pioneer tester, the course is $1,000. There's no further fees for that whole year. $1,000 as a pioneer tester. There's only 100 places. In fact, there's only 58 places now because they're selling. So if you want to take one of those 58 places, just go onto this link, take it now. We do offer a full money-back guarantee in the next 7 days if you don't like it. When those 100 places are gone, the course will be $3,500. Still same money-back guarantee. Is there a payment plan? No, there's no payment plan. What does it mean to be a pioneer? Well, it simply means that you are the first group ever to do this course. And so it is a tester course. I want you to come back and go, oh, I love that, and I wish that was 10 times as long, but I didn't love that, and I wish that was shorter. I love the case histories, and I wish there were more case histories on damaged children or children who are not coping with the divorce. I wish there was more on relationships, because you're going to help me make this course amazing. I want it to be the best hypnosis course ever. People who come on my face-to-face course go, Michael, this is the best thing I've ever done. That's why they're flying from Canada and New Zealand and Australia to London to train with me, because I know my course is incredible. And if ever I was going to do a course, it was going to have to be the best, because I was voted best therapist in Britain. I'm very proud of that title. Now I know that my course has got to be the best, and it's your feedback that will help me make it the best. So you're helping me, and my way of saying thank you is by taking $2,500 off the cost of the course. So what it means to be a pioneer is that you are the first group ever. You get a lot of special privilege. You get the first Facebook group that's smaller. You get more interaction with me, and that's a wonderful thing. Is it accredited? Oh, yes. At the end of 12 months, you get a proper accreditation. We give you a certificate. How long do you have to complete it? Well, we say 12 months, but some people will complete it in 7 months, and that's fine. Some people may complete it in 6 months. There isn't a lot of work. There aren't masses and masses of essays to write and client theses to write up, because I don't believe in that. That's like you writing an essay on how to be a swimmer. But does that make you a great swimmer? No, it doesn't. When you get in the water and practice, that's what makes you a swimmer. You could read a book on how to ride a bike. Doesn't mean you can do it. So there is 12 months of online classes, but again and again, we are showing you, encouraging you, helping you, training you to do the practical work. I had someone on my face-to-face course who'd done 5 hypnotherapy courses, extraordinary, and still could not hypnotize someone, which was unusual, but we don't let that happen to you. Can you do it at your own pace? Oh, yes. We say 12 months. Some people are going to complete it in 6 to 7, but you can take as long as you like. We release the modules every 2 days, maybe sometimes every 3 or 4, but it's entirely up to you how long you take. A bit like with my Uncompromised Life, people are going back, going, I love it so much, I'm doing it again, and I'm taking 3 times as long on every module because I love it. So you can do it at your own pace. It is about 70 hours, and then between 2 and 2.5 hours a month. There's no fee for accreditation at all. After the first 12 months, we charge you $40 a month to keep you up to date with webinars. We help you, we give you marketing material, and you need to stay accredited with us. We charge you $40 a month. And there may be all kinds of live events scheduled. And remember, of course, at any time, if you want to come to the classroom, because this year we're going to Vancouver to teach my school, and then we're going to Australia, and then we're going to Berlin, and then we're going to Dubai. And we might be going to New Zealand as well. So should you decide, look, I really want to come and train with you, that's fine. We will always take the cost of your online course off the face-to-face training should you want that. How soon can you work with people? Well, about 6 months after completing the course. And that's variable. If you're already a therapist, if you're already in the people helping business, if you're a counselor, if you're a therapist, if you're already doing this kind of work, then you could probably start to do that within a matter of weeks. If you have no therapy experience whatsoever, we would say 6 months, but you can, of course, practice on your friends and family members immediately. That's absolutely fine. So if you take the course, where I want you to send the feedback to is simply support@marisapeer.com. That's Marisa with 1 R, 1 S. Is there required reading? Yes, there is. You need to read Ultimate Confidence, and you need to read You Can Be Thin. You can buy them on Kindle for a couple of dollars. And here's a very important question. How much can I charge as a therapist afterwards? We would say the absolute minimum you should charge would be $100 for 60 minutes, but really you could start to charge $250 a session very quickly. And that's about right. I always say, look, in the area you're in, go ahead and Google other therapists, see what the top therapists are charging, and you can match that price, because I promise you, you will be skilled, you'll be highly trained, you'll be doing things that other people just can't do. And yes, we did give you a money-back guarantee, but it only lasts for 7 days. So If after 7 days you don't like that course, we will, of course, refund your money. So the live course, people are asking me how much that is. The live course is $6,900 to do the course in the classroom. The online course is almost half of that. It's $3,500. And for the first 100 pioneers, it is $1,000. So someone said, does this qualify me to be a practitioner in the UK without any other training, or do I need to do MPN? Well, you will get a certificate and you will be a rapid transformational therapist. So in the UK, you are 100% qualified. One of the reasons I call it rapid transformational therapist rather than hypnotherapy is that in some countries like Israel, you are not allowed to be a hypnotherapist unless you're a doctor. I believe Las Vegas is the same. And because we've had people coming on our course from all over the world, we've changed the name from hypnotherapy to rapid transformational therapy for several reasons. First of all, if your state insists you are a licensed hypnotherapist, they will never insist that you have to be a licensed rapid transformational therapist, which you are, because it's different. When you go into the corporate world, a lot of people go, I don't want hypnosis. What's that? Someone waving a chain and making me bark like a dog. But when you say I do rapid transformational therapy to help your employees work better, pitch better, go for funding better, speak in public better, sleep better, a lot of the corporate world prefer the word rapid transformational therapy. When you're going to the local doctor in your area and saying, I've had huge success in having people lose half their body weight or stop drinking or sleep through the night, a lot of doctors too think, we've had hypnotists in here before, it just didn't work. But rapid transformational therapy, they love that. First of all, they don't really know what it is, and you can sell that by going, this is what I do. We also live in a world where we can't even wait for our internet to connect. People want fast results. They don't want anymore to see a therapist once a week for a year or 9 months. They want to go in and get fixed. And the reason my material fixes you is because we don't just change the habit of action, we change the thinking that runs the habit of action. So you will get certification, you absolutely will. I can't tell you what the certification is like in every country in the world. If you have any issues, you just email support@marisapeer.com and then we can tell you. Someone says here, I don't know what that means. Does the course start for everyone at the same time? Absolutely. The course is being released this week. Is it possible to do the course if I'm not yet a counselor in practice? Absolutely. This course is for everybody. Someone said it would be very nice to meet in person, a group, once during the online class. Well, we have a Facebook group for you just for these pioneers, for the first 100 people. And of course, you have that private Facebook group just for you. And you can meet each other. And if you happen to live nearby each other, then you can set up groups and meet each other too. But I'm imagining you'll be from all over the world. It's great if you happen to have a neighbor, but you can absolutely meet those people. And of course, you can go onto Skype and have Skype conversations. Are there still 240 hours to attend after the 60 hours of seminars? Well, what happens is that the training is about 60 hours, but then we're giving you so many live therapy modules. Here's a live therapy course with someone who's anorexic. Here's one with someone who's bulimic. Here's someone who can't pass their driving test. You don't have to watch all of those, but they're so compelling and so fascinating. You'll like it. Every hour you spend reading my books is counted as part of your training. We give you a log, so we show you how to log your hours. So you log every hour you spend watching the online course. And you may go back and watch some of it again. Some of it's transcribed, so you're reading the transcriptions. You log every single hour. Every book you read, every webinar you come online with me, you log those hours. So you'll find that it's very easy to quickly get those other 240 hours. It's not you being online for 240 hours. It's logging and marking the hours you're working. You send those to me and we will sign them off for you. Of course, if someone said I've done 120 hours in a week, we might be a little bit suspicious and come back and test you on that. We have had some people sailing through this material because they're so passionate, but it's not hard to do 240 hours. Is there a module on the business side, as in the live 8-day course? Yes, there absolutely is. It's called Full Diary Formula. We show you how to market yourself, how to sell yourself, how to do an elevator pitch, how to get clients, how to write blogs, how to write other people's blogs, how to go on the radio should you wish to, how to write books, because I've written 4 best-selling books. How we supervise so we pass or not, that's a great question. First of all, when you get each module, you will be tested at the end of each module. You cannot open module 2 until you've completed and been tested on module 1. So you can't whiz through the whole course, go to the end and go, yeah, I finished, where's my certificate? You know, we're not going to let you loose on people if we don't think you can do it. So you are tested on every module, and then when you finish the whole course, you will do an examination. You will come online with us and do a Skype session. You may be asked to send in an audio or a video recording of you with a patient, or one of my trainers will come on Skype and watch you in the room with the client doing a session, which you'll be absolutely fine with because you'll have done so many. So in order to get the certification, there is a process you have to go through. We don't set it up so you fail. We set it up so you pass. Some people need more help than others. We found in the classrooms, most people sail through, but a few need extra support, and we are very happy to give you that extra support. Do we have live meetings online? Yes, you do. You do live masterclasses, but they are also recorded. So, because one of the problems we have is getting the hours right. If I do a masterclass at 8 o'clock UK time, that's actually 12 o'clock lunchtime in LA. I think it's 3 in the afternoon in New York, but I think it's 2 in the morning in Australia. And we try to find a time that works for every country in the world. It's very difficult. And we understand that. So the live meetings are recorded and you can go on whenever you want to. Again, they count towards your hours. Can the lessons be replayed? Absolutely. Are there multiple choice questions to pass the module? That's exactly what you have. Each module will have a multiple choice question. And when you answer that, it opens up the next one. At the end of the whole course, you will take an exam. It's not a horrible exam. It's not we don't think, let's make this exam so hard that you can't pass. We would never do that. But the exam is going to test how much attention you've paid to that course. Have you done the reading? Have you watched it? And if you've paid attention to the course, you will absolutely pass that exam. Would it be possible to have higher levels of certification? Possibly, not right now, but I don't know later that may happen. Is it actually the MPM training, as in, I don't know what that means, or isolated? It is the Marisa Peer method training. It is the Marisa Peer method training. And Marisa Peer method is training you in rapid transformational therapy, which is hypnotherapy. But what I do is so beyond hypnosis that I now call it rapid transformational therapy. Can we do it in another language? Actually, no. Right now, it's only taught in English. You have to be able to understand English to do this course. It doesn't mean that you can't do this course in English and then speak to your clients in French or Spanish, wherever your language is, but the course is only taught in English, so you do need a grasp of English to do the course. How will this course work when some people have no prior training and others have lots? Well, the people who are already existing therapists, of course, will go through it more quickly. They'll start to use the techniques with their clients immediately. That's a fact of life, in the same way that someone came onto my online course and was an existing therapist, and many existing therapists come on my face-to-face course and go, you know what, I'm never doing psychotherapy again. I've shut down my practice as a counselor. I'm doing your method because it works. So if you're an existing therapist, of course you'll pick it up sooner. And if you're not an existing therapist, it'll take longer. But what I find is existing therapists, they find it interesting to have to give up the training they have of, I'm so used to spending half an hour to get something. So I do this long, go down the beach and you're in a garden and start with your toes and go to your head and spend half an hour relaxing. I don't do that because when I give clients recordings to listen to at home, if the beginning is half an hour before I even start to give them suggestions like you love speaking in public, they're not going to listen to it. So existing therapists are challenged because they've got to give up some of their training and go over to my way, whereas someone who's got no therapy experience would take to it like a duck to water. Interestingly enough, the graduates I've taken for my face-to-face training and who are now training with me to be my trainers, none of them were existing therapists. One was a personal trainer, one worked in the city, one did PR, and one was actually a foster carer, and they are some of my very best. One was an interior decorator. I haven't at the moment taken any therapists to train to be my master practitioners, not because they're not good, but because the people who weren't therapists picked this up so much quicker. So my lovely assistant just said we now have 70% of the people on this course have purchased already, so we've got 30 places left. So if you want one, go ahead, click the link, take one, and remember there is a money-back guarantee. Is there an online toolkit for reference purposes if you hit a particular challenge? Of course there's an online toolkit. We have a Facebook group for feedback. You can email us in. You'll get your own personal assistance that have your own personal web address to email into. Will insurance companies acknowledge this course for professional liability in the US or Australia? I'd love to say yes, but the US, every state is different. So to answer that question, you'd have to let me know which state you are in. We have 4 different insurance companies insuring you, and one of them, Balance, does insure you out of the UK, certainly in Europe, certainly in Vancouver. I honestly can't say about America and Australia because I haven't done any training there yet. My next training is in Vancouver, and that training is accredited and it's recognized in Vancouver. But I can't tell you for your state. By all means, email in and we will answer that question to the very best of our ability. What is the cost of that Vancouver Live course? It's $6,900 US. That's not Canadian dollars, it's US dollars. If I have no clients, how can I possibly meet the examination criteria? I have no one to hypnotize. Well, yeah, you're going to have to find someone to hypnotize. That's not difficult. The people on my face-to-face course find that everyone asks them, their friends, their family members, people they know, people they work with. So unless you're living the life as a complete isolated loner, if you say to anyone, go to your local hair salon, go into your local gym, go to a spa. When you're in the gym, say to people, I'm looking for people. I'd like to practice weight loss therapy completely free of charge for the first. Could you give me some people? Go to your health food shop and say, is anyone coming into this health food shop that's got problems with smoking or drinking or tension or anxiety or can't stop eating junk food? It's not hard to find clients. Go to your local driving school and go, I would like to practice on people who get nervous before their driving test. Go to your local tutors group and say, I'd love to help children pass their exams, and I'm a trainee, so I'm always going to see the first 10 people for nothing. It's not hard to find people to practice on. In fact, you'll be inundated. And put something up on your Facebook page and say, I'm training in therapy, and I would love to practice in weight loss or nail biting or stop smoking. And initially, I'm going to practice free for the first 10 people, and for the next, I'm going to give you a 50% discount. You can find clients. I mean, just imagine if you said to any of your friends, have any of you got problems? They go, no, I'm perfect, me, I've got no problems. We all want to stop drinking, stop smoking, stop biting our nails, stop getting tense, stop arguing with our partners. We all want to sleep better, relax better, feel less stressed. We all have some kind of illness, whether that's panic attacks or irritable bowel or constipation or headaches, or a skin complaint. Really, one of the reasons I'm training so many people is there's so many people out there with problems. Maybe they're getting bullied. Maybe they can't dialogue with their partner without screaming at them. Maybe they just can't assert themselves. Maybe they can't ask for a pay rise. Maybe they can't work as a team. They want to be able to speak up, to speak out, to go to their boss and go, I've got a great idea, but they don't know how to do it. I promise you, if you ask for people to practice on, you will be turning people away. So let me have a look. So Kristen is saying, when does the online course start? Well, it starts in a couple of days. As soon as you purchase it, we'll be releasing it within 2 days, and you can start straight away. Will the Uncompromised Life course count for hours? Absolutely. That Uncompromised Life is a study in psychology and psychotherapy and human behavior. And if you've done that and you send me the hours, we will absolutely count that towards your 250 hours. Can I watch this Q&A later? Absolutely. It's being recorded and it will be sent out. Are we getting trained in self-hypnosis? Absolutely. One of the modules on that course is not only how to train yourself and practice self-hypnosis on you, but also how to teach groups, because that's a great thing to do, to go to your local community hall or your local high school and to say, I'm now teaching people self-hypnosis. I'm doing monthly classes, weekly classes. If you go to a high school and you're seeing teenagers about to take very stressful exams, then you teach them self-hypnosis. You can teach pregnant women self-hypnosis. They can relax before birth. You can actually teach them hypnobirthing. But self-hypnosis is useful for so many, many things. Taking exams, taking your driving test, fear of flying. Self-hypnosis is very useful for people who have fear of flying, fear of heights, fear of going underground. Can I use hypnosis for my business? Oh, yes, and you absolutely should. It makes you more confident. It makes you more eloquent. It makes you better at communicating. And you can show other people with the business too. I recently did an online interview with someone who's got a dance studio business. And he said that that online training was so useful for all the other people who have dance school franchises on how to bring in more clients, on how to sell that business. Can I think about this overnight and pay tomorrow? Of course you can. There are only at the moment, I think, 26 places left. But if there are still places available tomorrow, then you can pay $1,000 if you're one of the first 100 people. And we're pasting the link in right now. So yes, of course you can think about it overnight. And of course you can pay tomorrow. You can also buy it now and then come back and say, you know what, I've thought about it. I don't want it. We'll give you your money back and we'll put that place back into the pot, which won't be a problem. Will we have scripts to read while we're practicing? That's a great question. I'm so glad you said that, because you remind me, I would have forgotten. We have at least 60 scripts that go up online for you. Now, I personally do not like therapists who go, okay, here's my script, go into hypnosis, blah, 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 read, because people know when you're reading, and I think it's very tacky. But we give you 60 scripts. We give you scripts for sport, for team sport, for children who are being bullied. We give you sports for comfort. We give you scripts for confidence, for self-esteem, for nail biting, for thinking that you're enough, for believing you're lovable. And we say, please use this as a template. Here's a script for stopping smoking, for gambling, for being anxious, for not being able to speak in public. Here's a script for being able to concentrate and focus. Here's a script for memory and recall. And they are brilliant scripts, but we show you how to make that a template. So you refer to the script and put your client's notes into the script rather than read the script beginning to end. We have scripts for fear of snakes, fear of heights, fear of needles. You know, one of the great things you can do when you get clients over a fear of needles is to go to your dentist, doctor, hospital and go, I'm really good at getting people to be absolutely comfortable having shots. And they will send you people. What about our own issues? Can we use self-hypnosis to overcome them? Yes, you can, you should, you will. And again, I mentioned earlier, we have something called programming for the hypnotherapist, where we get you over your own issues. Are there case studies to watch for things such as weight loss? There are case studies on weight loss, on poor eyesight, on a poor immune system. There are case studies. There are many case studies, at least 7 different live case studies on weight loss. There are case studies on bullying, on anorexia, on bulimia. I can't even tell you how many cases, because we put new ones up every week. There are case studies on a little boy wanting to be good at exams. There's another little boy who wanted to be the best ice hockey player. There are, of course, case histories on smoking, drinking, gambling, shopping. There are case studies on feeling left out and feeling that you haven't got any friends. There are case studies on attracting love, and one of our best scripts is on how to attract and maintain a loving relationship. What if I want to come onto your live course after I do this course? Well, that's fine. We will deduct every single penny you spend on this course from the live course. How do we reserve our place without paying today? Actually, I don't think you can. I think you have to pay today to reserve the place. If you pay today and change your mind, you have 7 days to get a full refund. But we can't let people reserve a place without paying, because we've only got 100 places, and now we've only got, how many places have we got left?
20 left now.
We've only got about 20 left. It wouldn't really be fair to do that. I'm a therapist working with trauma. Can I use this for trauma work? Oh, absolutely. And it's so wonderful, trauma work. I work with a lot of people who've been abused, who've been hurt. Absolutely. Can we really see clients over Skype? You know, I felt like that. The first time I did a Skype session, I couldn't really believe it worked. But Skype is amazing, and we have a module called Hypnosis. We show you. The only problem with Skype is that when you're working with a client, the first thing you have to say is the Skype may drop out. And if it drops out or freezes, you have to prompt them, because it's fine if it happens. But once you begin the hypnosis, they're so relaxed that they're not going to come back to you, and they're also going to answer the buzzing when you go back to them. So I sometimes use Zoom now, and I sometimes use FaceTime. But we will show you how to use Skype, and it is just as good as doing a live session. Obviously, you can't have the interaction of touching someone's head or doing the actual physical suggestions. On the other hand, because they're in their own home and don't have to commute and come to your office, the good thing is they feel much, much more relaxed. We'll be listed on your website as Marisa Peer Certified Therapist. People who do the online course will get a different listing, but when you have passed the exam and everything else you to do, you will be listed, but it will be a different listing to the people who've done the live training, but you are still listed. When are the webinars for the group? They're usually the last Thursday of every month. So they will be the same day at the end of it, usually the last Thursday of every month. I'm a hypnotherapist, and I ask you respectfully, how is your program different? No, that's a wonderful question. It's very different. In fact, I now call my stuff skipnosis, because it's so different. It is rapid, it's transformational. I can only tell you that we saw someone recently who had scoliosis. She came up in front of the class. My heart sank when she said that. I thought, oh my God, scoliosis, couldn't you just come up with a migraine? I was doing a demonstration, but I did it in front of the whole class. She straightened her spine. I know that sounds hard to believe, but the whole point of her getting that was because she was so beaten as a child that her mind actually created something that put her in a cast and got her father to leave her alone. I had someone who came up, and I think he's put a post on the Marisa Peer Method page saying that he had an astigmatism, and it turned out it was all to do with not being able to cope with his mother and wanted to be like his father, who wore glasses. And after one session, 10 minutes later, he read a whole newspaper with no glasses. So I had a girl on my course called Kathy Kernan, I can tell you her name, and she had done 5 hypnotherapy training courses, extraordinary, and she still couldn't practice. And she spent the first 2 days in tears going, I can't do it, I can't do it. She has now become the most successful therapist in Liverpool. If you Google Kathy, Kathy, Kernan, I think it's Curnan, we'll put it up. If you Google her, she trained with me in November. She has had more success in Liverpool in curing alcoholics and drug addicts. She's been in the national papers 3 times. They keep writing about what she's doing, how amazing it is, how extraordinary it is. And she was already a hypnotherapist, but she had no clients. So I do have a lot of hypnotherapists who come on my course. I had one called, was it Lynn?
Yeah, Lynn. Yeah, Lynn. Yeah, Lynette, wasn't it? Yeah.
somebody who said she made all her fees back in 30 days. She paid $6,000 and she made all of those fees back straight away. Was it Lynn Gibson?
Yeah, it was Lynn. Yeah.
Lynn Gibson. And again, if you go onto the Marisa Peer method, you can look at all the different feedback. People going, this is amazing and this is wonderful and this is interesting. And for instance, I was on that show, Super Size, Super Skinny. I don't know if any of you saw that, but Super Size, Super Skinny was trialing different weight loss programs. And they said my program was the only one in the whole show that worked. So it's a very respectful question. I'm already a hypnotherapist. Why would I train with you? Because my training is different. It's up to date. I've invented so many things like role, function, purpose, the healing vortex, the command cell therapy, where I command someone's body to repair. I command someone's cells to get better. I had a hysterectomy in September, and I went home the same day, and I was on stage with Richard Bandler a week later teaching. I was on a plane a week after that going to Slovenia to hypnotize 2,500 people. And a week after that, I was in Costa Rica hypnotizing 450 people from the stage about 20 days after a hysterectomy. And even my doctor said, that's amazing. I said, it isn't really, because I'm just commanding my body to get well. I'm not doing illness, I'm doing wellness. And I know that was all down to my method, that I recovered from that hysterectomy. And I had that because I had womb cancer. And I don't have it now, and I recovered really fast. And I owe all that recovery to my own method of hypnosis, which is all about commanding your body, directing it to heal. And it's not what I call wishy-washy. It's very direct. The language I teach you, the words you use, the way to command your cells to recover. Because the mind and the body, a bit like a classroom of naughty children, they know what to do, but unless you dialogue them in a very specific way, they won't do it. So the healing vortex is extraordinary. We have someone called Ida from Texas who, when she came on my uncompromised life, she was blind, she was disabled, she was isolated, she was very unhappy. Her whole life is extraordinary now. She's mobile, she's connected, she's got friends, and she constantly comes into the station and says, this therapy has changed my entire life. And she is a therapist already, but my technique, which is very different, works because I spent 30 years studying human behavior, spent 30 years working with people at the top of their game, Olympic athletes, rock stars, movie stars, billionaires. And when I kind of put together what works and put it into this course, that's why it's different. So someone else has said, can I make a money transfer? Well, if you email support at Marisa Peer, they will assist you being able to do that. Can we take the course at our own pace? Of course, there is no rush. One of my favorite expressions says, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to climb the mountain. When you get to the top, the view is exactly the same. If you run up there or pace it, you will get the same view. So if you want to take your time, please take your time. Will we be able to do the master training after this, or would we need to do an in-person course before we be live? Well, I'm actually not sure. I've only just started to put the master training together. I've only taken 8 people from my classes so far, but it's certainly possible. And I can't answer that question yet because I'm so busy. I'm in the middle of a school now, and then I've got another school, then I'm going to Vancouver, that I'm actually not really going to even start the master training until next January, but I will let you know. Okay. So if you have any more questions, just keep emailing support@marisapeer.com. And it's been amazing to talk to you. I'm going to stay online for a few more minutes just to answer any more questions. So do remember that you get scripts. You get a script, not just a script for sessions, but a script on how to set your client up for success, how to make the client know in 5 minutes this is going to work with you. I have done parts therapy where we dialogue with a client in hypnosis. Do you do this? Not exactly. I do something called role, function, purpose, where in hypnosis you get the role and the function and the purpose of the illness to be present. And the minute the client understands the role they become free, because I'm a great believer that you can't fix what you don't understand. And when you understand it, you can fix it. Will you answer all the questions on this live session? Oh, absolutely. We'll put up answers. Will we get a replay of that Q&A? Yes, you absolutely will. You and the 2 other NPM therapists I've had contact with seem so confident and sure of what you do. Realistically, how long will it take a new therapist to start to feel confident? Well, my NPM trainers, the 2 that you spoke to, only did a 9-day training, but it does make you feel so confident. The results you see, the transformations you see in front of your eyes, which is why I call it rapid transformational therapist, and the fact that you can do that do make you feel really good. And of course, everyone who comes on my face-to-face course on the first day, they go, oh my God, I can't believe I can do this already. Of course, you can't do all of it on one day. So let me have a look at some more. The Uncompromised Life is one of the most phenomenal life-changing courses I've ever taken, and I've taken a lot. Marissa, your hypnosis sessions are truly amazing. Thank you. Well, I want you to be able to do the same thing. Let me have a look at some more. So, are there any criticisms for this method? Is too much in the head and not including feelings? Well, it does include feelings. Here's the thing. Your feelings are the most real thing you have. Your feelings are the only thing that tell you what you're feeling. I was working the other day with someone in front of my class who'd been very hurt by her father. And she said, well, I'm going to forgive him now. And I said, not yet. No, that's going to be the last thing you do. I want you to tell him how you feel about what he did. And so she told him, and then she said, oh, I'm so glad you made me do that, because I just thought I should forgive him. I said, no. It's a bit like when your cupboard opens and everything falls on the floor. You can shove it back in, or you can fold it all up and put it in properly, and the cupboard doors won't open again. And so feelings are really important. When people say things like, I feel like I'm choking, I feel like I'm cramping, I feel like I'm going to be sick, those feelings are there to change. So for instance, if you went out with a friend who said, oh, I'm just lifting all these groceries, let me shove some in your bag, and you felt really uncomfortable, that feeling is going, this is wrong. I worked with a 14-year-old girl whose boyfriend wanted to have sex with her. He was 24, and she started to have dreams of terror. And I said, well, darling, that's your body saying you're not ready, and you have to go back and go, ever since you asked me to have sex with you, I keep dreaming terror dreams. I'm not ready. So I teach people how to recognize what their feelings are saying and be comfortable with your feelings, because they are the most real thing you have. So let me have a look at some more questions. When will RTT start or be available? Oh, within 48 hours. Do you teach us how to cope with the client's emotions and not to take those on board? Oh, absolutely. That's very important. Many therapists get absolutely burnt out because they take everything home, they give, and they don't receive. And a lot of therapists are all about the giving, but not about the receiving. So let me do a little thing with you. Just give a breath. Just breathe out right now. Just give, breathe out, and don't take one. Do not take it. Just give and don't receive. Give a breath, but don't take one in. And when you see how uncomfortable it is, you understand the balance. Give and receive. So now take a breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Give, receive, give, receive. Some people don't give. Some people receive and they don't give at all. So you can do that too. You can breathe in and not breathe out. Nature requires balance, giving and receiving. As a therapist, your heart should be really open to give everything you can and more, but your hand should be able to be open and take quite a nice payment for that, because you deserve it. And when you're giving it away and you're exhausted and burnt out, that doesn't work. And also, if you keep seeing clients for nothing, they've got no investment. Weirdly enough, the people on my training course have said, you know, when I keep giving sessions away to my friends, family members, they don't play the recording. When I charge them, they all play the recording. And I explain on the course why the session will change someone's behavior completely. But look at this question, by the way. But the recording wires in the change. And I see many therapists who never give people a recording, which I find extraordinary, because here's a rule of the mind. The mind learns by repetition. The mind learns by repetition. If you repeatedly go, oh, I feel better now, I needed that cigarette, now I can cope with my crazy boss, that's a repetitive thought that runs a behavior. And when you change it to, my boss is stressful, smoking's not going to make any difference, I'm done with that, I'm over that, it learns by a better repetition. If you put sugar in your tea and take it out, sure, you miss it. After a month, you can't believe you ever drank it like that. So we show you everything. I'm a hypnotist and a coach already, and I work with clients. How soon can I use your methods on clients? I've taken you unconsciously. You can do it as quickly as you want. If you're already a coach, already a therapist, you can start to use every module the day it's released, because you already have certification. So for existing therapists, existing hypnotherapists, you can take my methods and you can use them straight away, and I'm happy to put that in writing for you. Do I need to finish the uncompromised course before this one? No, not at all. You can actually do them together. We release modules every 2 days, but you don't have to do them every 2 days. I don't want you to rush. Go at your own pace. So if we haven't answered your questions, you can send your questions, you can email them to support@marisapeer.com. Just pull up that long line, Claire, one more time. I just want to just scroll through and see if there's any questions that are really calling out for me to answer them. Excuse me, let me see. Congratulations, you're the best. I signed up. I'm excited to get started. Do you teach us how to cope? I do. This is going to be so much fun. I'm a hypnotist already. Okay, will the online training be as complete as your one-on-one training? Well, yes, it will be, because you get all the material, absolutely. Just out of interest, what proportion of men to women do you think pass through your training group? And I know there are just 2 on here. Yeah, actually, that is interesting. We have many, many more women than men. Women are by nature nurturing, and women are by nature have that motherly, empathetic skill. And I find a lot of men would rather go to a woman. But then I also find men who have premature ejaculation, they don't want to go to a woman, they want to go to a man. So I find in my course, I have 20% men to women, and you'll find that that's normal. But, you know, that's actually very good for men, because there are so many more women than men doing it. You may be the only Marisa Peer method trainer in your area who's male, and you'll get a lot of clients, especially if guys come in because they're beating their wives or hitting their children or losing their temper. They're often embarrassed to go to a woman. They want to go to a man who they feel won't judge them and won't be horrified and will be sympathetic. Will be on the same group page as the people that attended the in-person course? No, you have your own private Facebook group, because you're at a different level. They've already finished their training, you're just beginning yours, so you get a separate group. So again, if you have any more questions you want to answer, just send them in. Is there any more? Is that the last one? So go right up to the top and just let's see if there's anyone else. Someone said, is there a payment plan? I'm really sorry, there isn't. Does this training include hypnotherapy training? Oh, absolutely. Full hypnotherapy training. If you already put a deposit for the live course, can you apply this deposit online training? Absolutely, yes, you can. This online class is really cool. It'd be nice to have people to meet in person, the group, once during the online course. Well, maybe you can. Let's see what else.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah, I think we have everything. What's that one? No, go up one more. Oh yes, that's one we've answered that. Marissa, what did that one say? Oh yes, we've answered that.
They're going to email support and get.
Okay, I think we've answered all your questions. By all means, email support@marisapeer.com. And by the way, the feedback we are asking you to give in response to getting this online training for $1,000 instead of $3,500. We're not asking you to write essays. We're just asking you. In fact, we will give you a little, at the end of each module, there'll be something that says, what did you like the most? What do you think could have improved? Did you understand? There's anything you didn't understand? And a quick few sentences saying, what I liked the most about this was, and at every module, we will give you 5 little questions to answer, which will take maybe 10 minutes of your time, and then we ask you to write a little bit more. So the most I'd expect you to spend giving feedback on each module would be 15 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes more. You can give a lot more feedback if you want to, but we're not looking for essays. We just want you to go, love that, didn't like that, didn't understand that, didn't quite understand what that word was, really would have liked more of that. So I hope I've answered all your questions. It's been lovely to speak to you. Thank you for listening. And I hope I see you in the Facebook group. And I'm really excited to the, excuse me, to those of you who already joined. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.